Alrighty. Finally, to you, Aries. Well done. Hi, that's you. This is Tarot Illumination, and we're doing our love and relationship mini generic report for January 2019. A lot of you know the drill already. Thank you for visiting Tarot Illumination. And what we're going to do a little bit of a routine, for folks who haven't been here before, so please be patient. For regulars, fast forward to the cards if you really want to. You can. So anyway, there's a description box below here on the video with a bunch of links, okay? So it's about more to do with Tarot Illumination stuff besides the reports here. First Friday, group healing events, okay? It's becoming a monthly thing now where we do Tarot Illumination healing, all right? So check that out. Shopping, check that out. Tarot Illumination. Merch. Yeah, and the gorgeous satin silk scarf. There's a link there too. You want that book about January 2020? You better get one now. Okay, get prepared. You want a personal reading? Sure, we can do that. Link is below. I recommend the playlist. There's a whole other playlist for the Astro Doodles this month, simply because it's such a dynamic, critical month. Singles, you can watch this video too if you want to, but you have to kind of stretch it a little bit and allow for the laws of attraction in action. You are radiating energy, and this spread is a crucible spread, and I've designed it specifically for relationships. So you would have to extend the other energy to the other party as a what if, or like what's the potential coming back at you. Next, the routine, cross-watch for significant others. Also, watch for your sun, moon, and rising if they're all different, and then reevaluate from there, see which is most dominant, and reinterpret, okay? Finally, Tarot Illumination membership. That's the ultimate way to say thank you to Tarot Illumination, okay? So check that out too, all right? It's all in the links below, especially membership. Please consider. So let's get to the notes here just a moment. We'll get back to the cards. January is a really significant month. There's a whole playlist just for the Astro Doodles, okay? But I'm just going to share a couple moments here with you guys to get some relevance with the love and relationship report. There's nothing directly going on over here in the 7th house, okay, of marriage and open enemies and things like that. But we do have this eclipse, January 20th, right at the end of the month. Bammo, right there at the very beginning of your 5th house, true love. Also, we've got Mars in Aries right there in your 1st house. So things might be very active for you. With this eclipse here, we've got the earlier eclipses in the month. I'm not going to get into it much here, but with this eclipse, January 20th, it's on the Aquarius-Leo axis, which is actually quite comfortable for you. However, it is still an eclipse. So please understand that your love life will be taking on a new perspective, a new dimension with this eclipse. It's going to change things. Whatever was happening is going to go through a kind of gateway, like a spiritual evolutionary gateway through which there is no return. And things will shift up to a higher gear, a higher level of resonance, however that looks, okay? With eclipses, typically it's the end of one way of things and the beginning of another way of things, and no going back. Even with new moons and a full, it's either way, it's an eclipse. I mean, that's what an eclipse is. It just cuts something out. Eclipses something out of existence, out of view. And then something else happens and replaces. Okay, so cards are pretty well shuffled in advance. We're going to use Tarot Illumination Crucible spread on the understanding that there's you, Aries, a significant other, and a third entity. Yes, called the relationship itself, which has its own energy. It's like a plant. It's like a business, and you guys own it. Are you aware of this? And if so, what are you doing about it? If you're not aware of this, it's time to become aware of this. All right, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I'm just suggesting it's something to consider. All right, so cards are well shuffled. Let's bless the whole deck, okay? Bless every single card. Bless you, Aries. Bless Tarot Illumination. Bless the whole, technology, the cameras, and the platform, as they call it, for doing all of this stuff. Let's have a look. What are you radiating here? You'll see about the crucible in a moment. I'll explain. I'll just tell you. The crucible is like a structure. Forgive me, regulars. The crucible is a structure. It's like a bowl, typically a ceramic bowl, super high refractory that can endure massive pressure in a laboratory. And it's the same with human relationships. Relationships are like laboratories, and sometimes we undergo intense pressures as we intimate and separate, intimate and separate. And it's good to have that process contained in something that we would call a conscious relationship. Okay, and the crucible is the conscious relationship. The question is, what is the nature? Is it shaky, flimsy? Has it got good foundations? Is it leak proof? Is it flexible? What is it? Anyway, let's have a look. What are you radiating here over here, Aries? Think of yourself like a phone, beep, 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 and you're receiving energy, wow, 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 wow. Over here, same with the other, okay? Whoever they are. Remember, this is not a couples reading. It's all about you, Aries, and we're allowing for another character over here. Over here, deep down inside of you, heart and soul, what are you radiating? Deep down inside of the other, what are they radiating? And the core, the relationship itself. So I'm hoping you see this as the crucible. That is the bowl, all right? So think of it as a garden plant. How are you, or a business? What is this? What is the nature of this? And what is growing from this? Okay, we're going to look at circumstantial energy, environmental influences, call it the weather. Ready? Okay, we go. Strength. So my feeling is that this is probably to do with the Mars in Aries all month. It's really going to just fire you up. You know, it's just like, it's just raw power energy. It's energy that doesn't ask for permission to do what it wants to do what it has to do. It's spontaneous, it's alive. I am me, I do what I do. I am who I am. And the question here, the thing is that my feeling is that you're being called out, Aries. This Capricorn stuff, oh, I just have to go into it. I'm sorry. This Capricorn stuff up here in your place of destiny and career, it's putting a lot of pressure on you, saying, you know, pretend you're angels and heaven is saying, okay, Aries, great, great, well done. But what exactly are you doing in your life? What is your destiny, your place in this world? You need to take this very seriously. And that can have an impact on your relationships, your love life, because bammo, 2 weeks later at the Leo Aquarius eclipse, you're going to find out. All right. Basically, it's being a higher calling. To me, it feels like, what are you going to do with all this raw power, all this energy, this action, this ability to do and be and prevail and win and conquer? What are you going to do with that? You can't just, it's not just for personal, let's say, exploitation. It's in a love relationship. It's about, you know, what's the higher purpose of your relationship? What is the inner purpose of your relationship? Where are you going? What is your role in that? What is their role in that? What is the role of your relationship? What is the nature? How did it come about? We're going to a much higher standard of calling with this relationship, and it requires, like, let's say, a deep commitment to self and a willingness to almost like going against all Aries energy. Think before you act. Feel before you act. Check in with yourself, your spirit. Check in with your guides before you act. Okay? So that you're not acting in a rash way or irrational ways or purely by raw animal impulse with no answer and no accountability. All right? So be very careful. It's a very highly charged month, okay? Very dynamic, and it's hitting you right on some very delicate hot spots, okay? What are you radiating over here? Let's have a look. 4 of Wands. Wow. Well, I guess you got something to celebrate somewhere. This is very much up your street with your kind of energy, so you might be really feeling as though you are almost considering coming into center stage. It's almost like, I think that's to do with the Leo Aquarius thing going on. Leo energy being right there in your 5th house of love and relationship, where you've made a decision that there's a part of you, part of the other, part of the relationship that needs to be brought out. It needs to be, let's say, celebrated in a public way. Maybe people need to know about you, Aries, know about them, know about the relationship in such a way that it can be appreciated, enjoyed, and celebrated by others. It's just a feeling that I'm getting here. Also, with the Four of Wands, if you want to, you can just keep it personal. This could be like energy that it could be very private and very intimate, and part of your uh, the pressure that's on you to upgrade, let's say, the quality and the standards of your relationship to much more of a spiritual calling here. And then you can say to your honey, like, you know what? I'm getting awakenings here about our relationship going to the next level, and we need to celebrate. Let's go out for dinner. And they're like, oh, well, okay, of course, sure, yes, fine. Come on, okay, well, get dressed up because we're going to go out. Oh, really? Okay, yes. I want to celebrate us. We don't have to show off to the whole world, but I want us to be treated as though we're special. All right, let's have a look. What are they radiating over here? Kerblam. Wow, with the world. My feeling is though, my first feeling that I got here for you, Aries, is that you're with someone who's kind of witnessing you, who is like sort of almost like a spiritual companion, where they are here sort of reflecting back to you your natural Aries gifts and strengths and powers, and helping you to, let's say, come into your own so you can shine more and share more in a way that needs to be celebrated and appreciated. And you needed to know that. And it wouldn't have happened without a significant other who's willing to go there with you and witness everything that is ending in your life, in your world with love and relationship, and everything that is beginning. With the World card, there's definitely a, a it's the end of a major chapter, like an end of a major life chapter for that significant other over here. But it can be also spontaneously and simultaneously the beginning of a new chapter. Like when you're watching, like I like to watch my Netflix stuff, and when one episode ends, it's like binge watching. You go through a whole series, and let's say there's 6 episodes in one series, and you just binge watched and all of that, and then bammo, you can't wait. Oh yeah, now it's series 2, season 2, pardon me, and you start on that, and it's a brand new beginning for them. But they've already lived through the endings, and so everything is perfect. Everything is exactly as it should be. In other words, life moves on. Life is rolling on for you, Aries, and they are your witness. Like they're saying, like, don't worry, Aries, whatever's happening with you and your tumultuous stuff with your eclipses and everything like that, I'm going through all my stuff as well. But I wanted to let you know I'm here for you. I'm witnessing you and giving you my interpretations of what it's like on this side for when things end and when things begin, and how awesome that all is. Okay? It's like having a best mate who is there for you through everything, the worst and the best of it. And they take it all. They just say, well, that's natural. That's normal. Life is exactly how it is. It goes up and down and everything. And all the energies of the fates are all always working for you. And it's perfectly natural for one thing to end and another thing to begin. Just like the growing seasons with plants, with the lunar cycles, with relationships, with people. Children grow up. Adults grow up and mature. People break up and move on. People reformulate and move in. And it's a never ending story. Okay, that's kind of what I'm feeling here. And they are your witness. And it's good for you. And it's something to celebrate. Let's have a look. What's going on deep inside of you? Okay, 8 of Wands. Okay, well, this is like supercharged, hyper-powered Aries energy here. 8 of Wands is just like raw power energy that absolutely has to be expressed in the most, direct, simple, animal way possible. You can translate that how you want in a loving relationship. And it's just about the raw energy of being alive and needing to express that energy of being alive fully to the maximum, absolutely maximum. And let's just say hoping that that goes down well, hoping that it's well received. In other words, if you're kind of on a roll, Aries, and let's say the really challenging energy of the big Capricorn eclipse early in the month, it doesn't scare you. In fact, it fuels you up. It just fills you with this amazing power and energy and your sense of destiny. And you don't worry about the friction or the hard angles. Okay, I'm just going to point that out here. So in other words, you're not worried about that this is technically a hard square here. You're taking it like, okay, this is what I need. I needed this. I'm just going to go for it. And then you are, let's say, morphing it, translating it all into something really useful later when the next eclipse comes. And you can really run with that because the Leo Aquarius energies are very harmonious with you. So I see you taking advantage of all of this, Aries, like really, really running with it some way, somehow. What about the other? And putting all your passion behind it because you can see how it works for you and you want to celebrate it. And they are affirming to you that this is good for you. It's good for them. It's good for the world. It's good for the relationship. And they want you to know this. And sometimes it's very hard. There are certain things in life, certain types of health and spiritual growth and healing and evolution that can only occur in the context of relationship. But most especially a loving relationship, a chosen relationship, where both parties, all parties, are aware of the structure and the entity of the relationship itself. And so I think this needs to be understood. Okay, we'll get to here in a moment. What are they radiating deep down? The Five of Swords. Okay, well, my feeling is deep down that there is some kind of like an internal conflict with them where part of them is not going to back down. They're not going to apologize for being who they are and how they are and the way they are and what they do and what they say and how they have to say it and why they say it. Because they don't want to disrespect you or dishonor you. And if they are coming at you and are being a witness and things are ending in some way and things are beginning in some way, and it's kind of above and beyond your control, it's above and beyond their control, it's just what is happening and they are witnessing. And my feeling is that they want you to know this. And if there's some really challenging news and information that you need to know, they're not going to stop. They're not going to withhold that or dumb themselves down in order to, like, soften up the relationship or pretend that everything is rosy when it's not. If there's some very challenging endings that are happening here, then they have to end. And if there's some very challenging beginnings that have to happen, then they have to happen. And either way, beginnings and endings can be very challenging, but it has to happen here. And from their perspective, they are, my feeling is that they're going to be true. They are going to say the words that have to be said and do what they have to do. They're not going to apologize for like what's not working, because they're not going to take all the blame for anything and everything that's not working. They're not going to take all the glory for what is working. What my feeling is, what they're doing is that they are just simply, let's say, outmaneuvering. Deep down, what they almost want to do is it's not what they want to. It's like they have to outmaneuver any weakness. You know how this has nothing to do with you or the tarot, but you know how on Wall Street, the Wall Street traders are like these. Some people think of them as like predators, piranhas and stuff. It's a very vicious dog eat dog thing. And the Wall Street trader does not apologize to another country or business or trading stock that they have exploited for their profit. The whole point of the marketplace, the open world, the free marketplace, is that we can be who we are. And the beauty of the marketplace, like Wall Street, is that the weak are ravaged by the strong. And what it does, it's like a constant culling All the weakness is culled out of the market so that the good stuff can come to the surface. That's the theory anyway. So I think that's what's coming here. It's almost like what they are doing, if anything is painful that's going on over here with you, Aries, it's to be expected, and it's part of a cleanup and a culling that needs to happen. And there's no maliciousness intended or anything. It's just that if there are weaknesses in your system, no matter all this amazing Aries energy here, it's almost like their job is to take you down, and they're not going to hide from that. They're not going to shove that in your face or make it vindictive or personal. They know that part of their role is to, in some ways, tame your energy here, tame this energy, outsmart you in some way, so that you don't get so completely flooded and overloaded with Aries awesome superpowered energy. Like, you have to be curbed a little bit, and they're going to do that. They're going to have to do that in order to preserve the integrity of the relationship to some point, the beginnings of it and the endings of it. To me, it's very much a question of honor here. In other words, let's say if there was a big challenge, they would say to you, well, dear Aries, would you really want me to wimp out and step over here and just let stuff happen without an explanation and leave you floundering, even though it's awkward? And you would say, well, actually, no. I really need to know everything I can about me. I'm just trying to be me. And then, well, I'm just letting you know. So don't take it personally if I have to say this or do that or go here or go there, or something is, this is over or it's just beginning, however challenging it is. And then you would say, thank you. I am grateful. I honor you. I respect you. Thank you for actually, calling me out and supercharging me even more, so I can go from here to here. Ooh. Okay, what about over here at the core? 7 of coins. So to me, this is good. I feel this is very calming energy. I'm really glad to see some pentacles here. Think of it as tokens as love, because I think there's a lot of reality checking going on in this situation with this relationship, because it's so hard to carry this Aries energy. It's going to be so strong that it could be easy to, like, it'd be like a wild animal just going berserk out in the wild open, having so much fun, too much fun, that they might not even know that they're stomping on people or hurting people, or that they are hurting themselves. They might, easy to injure yourself, okay? So with the 7 of Pentacles here, my feeling is that by the grace of a significant other, you are discovering what you need to know, perhaps in a difficult, very challenging way, for you to evolve and grow to next level consciousness when it comes to love and relationship, okay? You can't come at it just from the primal state where you have been. We're evolving here, okay? Going to the next step. There is a higher spiritual calling and mission and purpose of your relationship. And with this 7 of coins, there will be a clear indication of what is not acceptable, what needs cleansing, clarifying, purifying, clearing, like wipe it out, like, doing a huge remodeling job on a house, remodeling job on the relationship, remodeling job on the business. And then you're left with the gold. You're left with the gold, and then what do you do with that, okay? So over here, cool. My feeling with the Chariot here is that this is going to be like a process. You're going to have to live through this in order to get to here, because what's happening is that it's like a pressure cooker. To me, it feels like a pressure cooker environment here, where the pressure increases. There's the huge eclipse at the beginning, and that's going to really be a wake-up call. And then it's going to be a 2-week build up to the full moon eclipse at the 20th. And then that's going to be much more clear about what this all means and where it's going to go from here. And that's the whole point. The whole point of this story here is that you need to know what you need to know, courtesy of the reflection that you get back from a significant other who is vested in you, vested in the relationship, no matter what, beginnings and endings, okay? And that's some of those lessons might be very, very tough, but it does trigger you to my feeling, like start from scratch again. but with a higher degree of mastery and control, where you're realizing, like, wow, I have a lot more to do. I have a lot more power that I have to be in control of. I have to take mastery over this. And this is the early, I feel this is like very raw, new, early energy. And you don't know what to do with this yet in love and relationship. So to me, it feels like it's like this whole thing is a pressure cooker taking you. Remember, this is not a couples reading. It's all about you, but we're adding this character here to fill out the story so that you can be you. And this is very much about you becoming you by going through a very intense pressure cooker type of situation where eventually things go whoosh, and you realize, I really, really have to get my act together now in ways that I've never done before. And I have to channel my super high powered energy, Aries energy, in a very constructive, responsible, effective manner. In other words, you can't just go like rah, 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 all over the place in life, love, relationship, or everything. There's a lot of power here, and you have to take a lot of like responsibility for the raw power and what are you going to do with it. And I think it's going to be brought out in this month for you. Okay. So thank you so much. I'm not going to say anything more, Aries. You can reinterpret however you want. I hope it didn't scare you or cause a panic attack or everything. We're always intimating, always separating. It's just a natural uh, flow of things. And this just looks like a very effervescent month with a lot of hidden messages that are only going to make sense much more towards the end of the month after the big Leo Aquarius eclipse. Okay? All the best. Bye bye. Thank you for choosing Tarot Illumination. Best way to say thank you is become a member. Bye bye.